College wasn't loud for me. It wasn't parties every night or dramatic love stories unfolding on staircases. It was coffee cups piling up on my desk, quiet mornings, and learning how to exist on my own without constantly explaining myself. I met Caleb Reed in October of my second year. Not officially, not memorably, just repeatedly. The first time, he took the seat across from me in the library without asking. The table was long, mostly empty, but something about the way he dropped his backpack and immediately opened his laptop told me he wasn't planning on moving. I remember being annoyed for exactly 3 seconds. Then I noticed he worked the same way I did. Headphones on, focused, no unnecessary movement, comfortable silence. I liked that. We didn't speak that day, or the next. But somehow, every Tuesday and Thursday after that, he was there again. Same table, same time, like we'd silently agreed on it. I learned things about him without ever talking. He drank black coffee. He highlighted aggressively. He always paused before typing, like he needed to think things through fully before committing. It took 2 weeks before we actually spoke. "Do you need the charger?" he asked, holding it up. I blinked, surprised. Yeah, thanks." That was it. That was our first conversation. I didn't think anything of it. College is full of almost connections. People you see, talk to once, then never again. Except Caleb didn't disappear. He showed up in my statistics class, then in my ethics seminar, then, somehow, in the same group project I'd been dreading all semester. "That's convenient," I said when we realized it. He smiled a little. Or cursed. That smile stayed with me longer than it should have. Working together was easy in a way I hadn't expected. He didn't dominate conversations. He listened. Actually listened. When I talked, he waited. Really waited. Like what I said mattered. That alone made me feel something shift. We started staying late to finish work. Not because we had to, but because neither of us rushed to leave. Sometimes we talked about class. Sometimes about nothing. Sometimes about things that felt too personal for how little we officially knew each other. One night, around midnight, he asked, "Do you ever feel like everyone else has college figured out except you?" I laughed softly. "All the time," he nodded. Good. I was worried that was just me. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just convenience anymore. But slow burns don't announce themselves. They settle in quietly. Weeks passed, then months. We started walking out of buildings together without planning it. Sharing playlists, sitting closer than necessary. People asked if we were dating. We always said no, and it was true. Mostly. The hardest part was that nothing ever happened. No dramatic confession, no accidental kiss, no line crossed, just tension. The kind that lives in glances held a second too long. In the way his hand would hover near mine but never touch. In how he'd remember small details about me I didn't realize I'd shared. I told myself not to read into it. I told myself I liked the friendship. I told myself I didn't feel disappointed every time we said goodbye. Then one evening, after finals, we ended up sitting on the steps outside the library. The campus was quiet, almost empty. "Can I ask you something?" he said. I nodded. "Why are you so careful?" I laughed, but it came out thin. "I could ask you the same thing." He looked at me then, really looked at me. "Yeah, you could." The air felt heavier after that. Still, nothing happened, because slow burns are cruel like that. It wasn't until spring that things finally cracked. We were studying in his apartment, my first time there. It was small, clean, lived in, books everywhere. At some point, we stopped studying. We just talked about our families, our fears, the versions of ourselves we were afraid we'd become. "I think I'm scared of wanting something too much," I admitted quietly. He didn't answer right away. Then, "Me too." The silence stretched. Then he said very carefully, "Nora, if I ever crossed a line, you'd tell me, right?" My heart started racing. "You haven't." "I know," he said. "I just needed to be sure." That's when I understood. He wasn't waiting because he didn't care. He was waiting because he did. The first time he held my hand wasn't dramatic. We were walking back from class. It was cold. Without looking at me, he reached out. I let him. Neither of us said anything. That was it. That was the moment. No fireworks, just relief. We didn't rush after that either. We talked. We checked in. We moved at a pace that felt safe. When we finally admitted it, weeks later, it felt obvious. "I like you," he said, almost embarrassed. I smiled. "I know, I've liked you for months." We laughed. Not nervous, just honest. We didn't fall into love overnight. We chose it, slowly. And somehow that made it stronger.